Spain deservedly becomes the European champion, while the England team couldn't show anything, even in the tournament final. Ronaldo is moving to Bayer. Manchester United signed a young superstar, and a Saudi club set a transfer record for Antonio Rüdiger. We are talking about this and much more today. This is a hot selection of the most interesting football news. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, click the bell, and like this video to get more news about our favorite game. Your support is very important to us. Let's get started. Luis Suarez played his last match in the Uruguay national team's jersey. Another era has come to an end. But before talking about the main hero of the match, let's discuss what happened in the clash between Uruguay and Canada. To my surprise, the team started the first half very energetically. I predicted a more sluggish game due to the physical and mental condition of the Uruguayan players, but they went forward from the first minutes. Their opponents did the same. As a result, we saw a wonderful first half with many chances and 2 goals scored. The second half turned out to be more inert, with Uruguay looking slightly better and having a few more dangerous moments. But it was Marcelo Bielsa's team who scored first. Luis Suarez did not want to end his career in the national team on a sad note. At the end of the second half, he had a great chance to score, but hit the goalkeeper from a favorable position. Just a few minutes later, he hammered the ball into the Canadian net, equalized the score, and sent the match to a penalty shootout. The Canadians are still far from matching Uruguay in penalty-taking quality. Uruguay easily won the penalty shootout and found themselves on the Copa America podium for the first time in over 10 years. Luis Suarez was deservedly named the best player of the match. He saved the team from defeat in the last minutes and scored the decisive goal in the penalty shootout. What questions could there be? Suarez is a legend of all Uruguayan football. In 15 years in the Uruguay jersey, he won 1 Copa America, scored 68 goals, and provided 39 assists. Suarez is truly great, but we knew that even before the match against Canada. Cristiano Ronaldo's future remains uncertain for now. The Portuguese star has many career options on the table, including extending his partnership with Al Nassr. Ronaldo is currently discussing extending his contract until 2027. According to rumors, there is a possibility of a move to the German club Bayer on the horizon. Al Nassr, of course, wants Cristiano to stay with them until the end of his career, as his experience and influence on the team are invaluable. On the other hand, Bayer, aiming to strengthen its position in Europe, sees Ronaldo as an ideal candidate to bolster their attack. The management of the Saudi club views the Portuguese not only as a player, but also as a symbol of their ambitions. The club hopes Ronaldo will help instill a winning mentality in the team and make it more competitive on the international stage. This once again highlights how important Ronaldo is for the Saudi club. However, the possibility of moving to Bayer also looks enticing. The German club could offer Ronaldo a chance to play at the highest level in Europe again, participate in the Champions League, and compete for titles. For Bayer, this would be a huge reinforcement, especially considering their ambitions in the Bundesliga and on the international stage. So Ronaldo will have to choose between 2 options. In fact, there are several other offers on his table, but the source did not name these options, so there is nothing to discuss here. Overall, we see that despite his advancing age, Ronaldo's candidacy is still in demand among big teams. This, of course, cannot but please the fans of the Portuguese genius. By the end of the summer, we will find out what future Cristiano Ronaldo will choose for himself. João Felix still doesn't know which club he will continue his career with, but his time at Atletico Madrid seems to be over. The Portuguese player has damaged his relationship with head coach Diego Simeone, and possibly with some team members. It's unlikely he will be welcomed at preseason training, which begins at the end of this month, unless he repents to Atletico for his words and actions over the past year and a half. Erik ten Hag forgave Jadon Sancho and allowed him to train with the team. Maybe this will work in Felix's situation too? But at the moment, he is closer to leaving. According to recent reports, Benfica, Manchester United, and Aston Villa have shown interest in the Portuguese winger. However, both Manchester and Birmingham are already overloaded with attacking players. and it is unlikely that things will progress beyond rumors. Yesterday, there was information that London's Arsenal is interested in João Felix. The Gunners recently contacted his agent to clarify the terms on which he would agree to move to Emirates Stadium. The forward himself dreams of staying in Barcelona, but the Catalans are unlikely to find the money for his full transfer, and the Madrid club has not yet expressed a desire to send him on loan. At the same time, Arsenal's playing style suits Felix. The Gunners often attack through the flanks and control the ball around the opponent's penalty area, which will help the Portuguese showcase his dribbling and mid-range shooting skills, which are really good. Felix could compete for a place in Arsenal's starting lineup, especially if Gabriel Martinelli continues to perform poorly. Spain's national team has become the European champion. In the end, football justice prevailed. Southgate chose the same tactic for the final as for all previous matches. He decided to play with a very low block and counter-attack through vertical passes, relying on the individual skills of Bukayo Saka. The tactic finally failed. The English hardly visited the opponent's half and managed a miserable quarter of an XG point. Meanwhile, such deep defensive blocks from high-class players didn't allow the Spaniards to play beautiful attacking football. The first half was very hard to watch, but in the second half the England team didn't have time to recover after the break, which was exploited by two young Spanish wizards. Lamine provided his fourth assist of the tournament, and Nico hammered the ball into Pickford's net. But recalling the experience of previous matches, no one rushed to celebrate Spain's victory. And for good reason. England put together a brilliant combination attack, finished by a beautiful long-range billiard shot from Cole Palmer, who once again became the hero of the Three Lions. But Mikel Oyarzabal didn't allow another comeback by Southgate's men. At the end of the match, he put Spain ahead again, fixing the final score on the scoreboard. Kane cried loudly after the game. He couldn't believe that yet another trophy had slipped from his grasp and couldn't hold back his emotions. It's a pity for this good guy. The striker has earned the right to lift at least one trophy above his head in his career. But apparently, not this time. The Spaniards looked better and deservedly won. Honestly, as a fan of the England team, I don't feel any disappointment at all. This team didn't even deserve to play in the final, let alone win it. Southgate needs to be fired. This football generation deserves a great coach who will implement attacking football. But this is just a disgrace. The generation is simply going down the drain. Manchester United has made its first purchase in the summer transfer window. The Red Devils have signed the talented genius from Bologna, Joshua Zirkzee. If you missed the last season, let me fill you in. How good is the Dutch forward? He started showing signs of being a top player while playing at Bayern's academy, where he easily scored 10, 15 goals per season. However, he didn't find a place in the main team in Munich and went on several loans until 2 years ago when modest Bologna bought him. Under Thiago Motta, Joshua scored 11 goals and provided 5 assists last season in Serie A. These might seem like modest numbers for a truly top player, but remember the status Bologna had at the start of last season. They weren't considered championship outsiders, but they weren't favorites either. Yet they made it to the Champions League for the first time in over 20 years, thanks in part to Zirkzee's efforts and his goal contributions. Joshua is the type of player who doesn't try to pad his stats but plays for the team. Overall, this quality was evident in every player under Thiago Motta at Bologna. In fact, Manchester United has signed a versatile forward who, when necessary, isn't afraid to drop into the defensive zone to help his teammates. But once he gets the ball, he immediately charges into the penalty area to score. I think this is how a modern forward should be, unless they are unique like Haaland or Ronaldo. In short, Zirkzee's transfer will be a significant boost for the Red Devils. He cost MU over $40 million, which added to Bologna's budget. Additionally, the club had to pay another $10 million to agents, which is why AC Milan once turned down the purchase of such a quality player. We will see this season if that was a mistake or not.